Hello. Welcome back to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm so glad you could join me here today. We've been having dull and cloudy weather here in Bangalore. It rains off and on. Sometimes, very rarely, there's some sunshine. But most of the time, it seems to be kind of dingy, dark, and cold. Don't forget cold. On days like this, I just want to lie in bed. I don't want to get out of bed. I want to be under the sheets, wearing my socks, nicely tucked in. When I'm not too lazy, maybe drinking a hot chocolate as I sit up, but most of the time, even just lying down. Now, on lazy days like this, now there's nothing wrong with being lazy, first of all. We all deserve to allow ourselves slow days like this as long as we don't do too many in a row. Maybe one day like this is fine, or depending, slightly less lazier day the next day. That is okay. But if you spend too many days in a row in bed, that's not good for us. However, sometimes it's okay to indulge, allow ourselves to do this occasionally, just be in bed. Most of us, we tend to reach for our phones, right? Like it's such a guilty pleasure lying in bed and looking through our phones. That's just basically the default activity most people resort to when we're in bed. It's not the nicest of habits, though it feels nice at that point of time, but none of us feel good after spending a long stretch of time just looking through our phones, especially if we are catching up on messages or reading emails, going through social media, doom scrolling of some sort. All these things leave us feeling icky. It doesn't feel nice. The brain feels dull at the end of all doing these things, right? Doing all of these things. Occasionally, again, it's okay. Sometimes, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that's okay. But if you're planning to spend the whole day lazing in bed, definitely we don't want to spend that time on socials and just lose the day. And that doesn't feel very good. And at the end of it, we feel guilty. We feel like, oh, the whole day was kind of meaningless, kind of wasted, it's gone. And that's not a good feeling either. So, today I wanted to share a few things that are better, way better to do while in bed than scrolling through Insta or shorts, or especially short form videos and things like that. Now I've divided this into three different categories depending on the kind of energy you're feeling right now. Of course, if you're going to be in bed all day long, then you can do a bit of everything. Why not? There's going to be variety. And, our brains need distraction. We're so used to that we need to train ourselves to distract ourselves with better options. So if you can't stick to the same thing all day long, no problem. Do all these different things, try them out. But while you're doing them, whichever one you pick, that activity, give it enough time. Do it for at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Go deep into it. Allow yourself. Resist the urge to jump to something else at the initial stages. Over time, you kind of get into it. You get into this sense of flow and being present in the moment, and it starts feeling nicer and nicer. So, push through this phase of distraction and boredom. And if you put a little effort to do that, then later things become much more easy. Now, before we go on with this episode, I want to tell you a bit about my newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. I write in once or twice a month, send emails, and in that I put in some secret stories that I don't share anywhere else, plus updates, tips, all kinds of different things like that. Usually the stories are kind of entertaining, you have some fun with it, but also they make you think. They give you a different kind of an idea about life, about looking at things, different perspectives. If you want to find out more about it, go to my website veganosaurus.com/newsletter. That is veganosaurus.com/newsletter. Read more about the newsletter there and sign up. Once you sign up, you will get a confirmation email. The moment you hit confirm, you'll get a welcome email. You'll be added to the newsletter first when you confirm, and then you'll get a welcome email. And reply to that email and tell me about yourself. I'd love to get to know you. So I hope to see you on the Feel Good Tribe. All right, now let's get on to these ideas. So the first category is if you're in the mood for some kind of entertainment or leisureliness, then pick high quality leisure activities or high quality entertainment. You just have to switch the quality. You can still be entertained. You can still feel leisurely, not taxing your brain too much, just listening or watching something. But it has to be of a higher quality. Instead of, say, picking a random series on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever streaming service you use, instead of picking that and then binging through that, why not watch a video of some kind of a workshop instead? A workshop where you don't have to think too much, maybe not even take notes, but just by listening, you're picking up some nice ideas. So there's some little bit of self-improvement happening, but you aren't doing much. You're just watching, you're listening, and you're storing some ideas in your brain. I have a few workshop videos that, that are a favorite to me. It could be anything. We can always learn anything. It doesn't have to be something that you will necessarily use immediately in your work or studies, business, in anything. It could just be learning for the sake of learning. And because it's in fact preferable if it's something that you're doing, learning for the sake of learning, because then you can be even more relaxed with lower expectations on yourself. I have a few favorite workshop videos. Some of these I've already watched and I've taken down notes and all that. I've done it in a very serious and alert and interested way. But on the days I feel like watching something for leisure, high quality leisure, I binge watch plenty, by the way, on Netflix, all of those things. But I'm talking about especially when I'm in bed and I feel like, okay, I need high quality leisure. Then I just play a video of one of these workshops and then I just watch it. It's like a refresher, but in a relaxing way. The second thing, of course, the most obvious thing is to read a book. If you are not much of a reader, then get an audiobook. Listen to it. That's okay. I love listening to audiobooks that are non-fiction. But when it comes to fiction, I so much prefer reading. And on my quality leisure days, again, lying in bed days, I prefer to pick fiction books, stories, because they are so gripping. I get lost in the world of these characters, these different scenarios. So I have, again, some favorite authors or some highly recommended ones. If I'm feeling extra lazy and really don't want to think too much, I read a book that I've already read. Pick from one of my favorites. Usually I fall back on Terry Pratchett's Discworld. There are some books there that I pick and read, which I don't have to think so much. I don't have to worry, the suspense and thrill and all that. There is none of that because I know exactly what happens in the story. However, the writing, the humor, the characters are so good that it's totally enjoyable. So, yeah, pick one favorite book of yours that you've already read, or start something new, something that comes highly recommended by somebody you trust, and then just start reading. When you're reading, if you're reading on your phone, like I tend to do, my ebooks are all on my phone, turn off all the notifications, or turn off, the internet on your phone preferably, so that there are absolutely no distractions popping up and pulling you away from the reading. Then it's much easier to lose yourself in this reading. Another high quality leisure, if you feel like, okay, I want my brain to feel a little bit more alert, active, stimulate my brain a little. If you feel like you need to do that, then there are some great podcasts you can listen to. Like this one, but I don't mean just mine. There are so many interesting podcasts out there. So pick one and then just put a bunch of episodes from different people or different podcasts into your library and press play and then close your eyes and just listen to it. And that's about it. So I've given you 3 high quality leisure activities that you can do while just lying in bed. You don't even have to get up at all. When you pick high quality leisure, the way it works on your brain, the way you feel, the relaxation, all of that, it's so much better, so much nicer than you would if you were binge watching something, a TV series, or, again, getting online and stuff like that. The way you feel is starkly different between the two. The second category is all about slowing down your mind and your body and pampering yourself, feeling really nice, focusing on your well-being, your particularly your physical well-being, but also as a result your emotional and mental well-being. In the self-care activities that can be done in bed, the first would of course be do a guided meditation. And I specifically say guided meditation because you aren't putting in the work then of focusing on your breath or bringing your mind back to a particular, way of thinking, a focal point, or none of that. You don't have to put any of that effort. Just play a nice guided visualization meditation where somebody will take you, as they speak, they'll let you use your imagination. And just as you close your eyes, it's almost like daydreaming. Remember daydreaming? You probably did that a lot when you were a kid in the pre-screen days. So guided visualization meditations are like that, except that there's somebody safely guiding you through all these scenarios, this imagery, and you feel good, you feel protected, and they will take you through feeling good, the uplifting kind of emotions. I record guided meditations and post them on Insight Timer. So you can get the app and you can look for my my profile there, Veganosaurus, and maybe find some of these. I have a gentle flowing stream practice, and then different kinds of practices like that. So you can look through that. But Insight Timer has so many thousands and thousands and thousands of teachers who generously share so many wonderful guided meditations. Even in the free version of the app, there's so much, plenty there. So you can use one of those, pick anything that randomly feels nice, guided visualization, do a search for that, and you can just listen and do that meditation. And if that means you're drifting off for a while, maybe even if you fall asleep, fair enough, you're sleeping in a very in a truly relaxed and healthy, restful way instead of, with a very active brain running around even as you fall asleep. Another very beautiful thing to experience while you're lying in bed is this thing called havening or havening, probably. I think it's havening. That's how it's pronounced. Or self-soothing. It's a neuroscientifically proven method where we basically gently touch our own arms, our palms, our faces, and the idea is to it brings you so much to the present, and it really calms you down. It feels so loving. It's a very intimate loving thing, and you're touching yourself like you're a little baby, that child who you're caring for, like, soothing the child, calming. uh, that's how you're treating yourself with this. And because it's your own hands touching your own face, or even touching your own palms touching each other, you get to feel you get to experience the feeling of touching and being touched, which is very, very powerful and very, very calming and soothing. And once you get into that, you can look up these, self-soothing and havening and all that online if you'd like. But it's pretty simple. It's basically be intuitive. Use your fingertips, use your palms of your hand, and touch your shoulders. One thing I love doing, my favorite, is taking the back of my fingers and then gently stroking them, my cheeks with it. It feels so nice. It's so cute. So you feel good. You feel really relaxed and nice. So you can try self-soothing. And again, all you have to do is just lie down, keep your eyes closed, and then just do that. So that is another great way to really, really relax in bed while also feeling very good about it. And of course, if you feel like, okay, I don't want to be so still, as in, the meditation or the self-soothing, if you want to move a little bit, because if you're going to be in bed for a long time, then, the body needs some kind of movement, some kind of stretching. There are again plenty of gentle movement, gentle exercises, gentle movement techniques you can do while you're lying in bed. Again, you don't even have to get up. You can twist, the way you lift your legs, stretch. You can do a lot of that and flow into that. You look up online for some yoga exercises which are done while you're lying down, and then just practice those. So these are three. I'm sure there are plenty more you could probably think of where you are involved in self-care and your own wellness and self-pampering while you're lying in bed, while being in the present moment, being very mindful without getting distracted or pulled into other things. This is something I recommend. These activities I recommend you do every day, just for a little while at least, whether it's in bed or not, because these things really, really help us and soothe us and guide us. And the final category is when you want to stay in bed all day, but you don't want to be completely lazy. You want to feel at least a bit productive or creative. Again, activities that you can do either while lying down or most of the time while sitting up in bed or propped up on some pillows or something like that. You don't have to get up, you don't have to go sit in your at your desk or at your workspace to do all this. You can just do this in bed, if you want, right on your phone, or if you like, you can keep a laptop with you and do all these things. Any kind of audio content that you want to create, Guess where I'm sitting as I record this podcast episode for you. I'm sitting in bed, propped up with pillows and under a blanket because, yeah, that's what helps the sound be really good. And I'm just recording this for you. And, I'm going to edit it a little, publish it. All of that I'm going to do right here in bed. So, any voice related content, any audio. It could also be if you're a singer, you can sing. It doesn't even have to be something that you have to publish. It could be for your own self. So record, sing and record and listen to it. It's kind of fun to do that. Or if you are into making videos of some sort, in bed is a great time to just lie down and do the voiceover for that video. For example, I do a lot of recipe videos for my YouTube. Well, not a lot of, but occasionally. And all my recipe videos have a voiceover component where after I've edited and the video is almost ready, I add the voice where I talk about the steps in the recipe. So something like that, just as an example. My YouTube is Veganosaurus. Actually, I'm Veganosaurus everywhere. Inside Timer, YouTube, my website, Insta, everywhere. So just you can find me wherever I am. I'm Veganosaurus there. So you just do this kind of a recording. You can also record a workshop or a course. A lot of my courses are audio courses. It's kind of nice, for people to also be able to just listen instead of having to watch. They can carry it with them anywhere and listen. So you can do an audio course, or you can simply just, if you have ideas for an upcoming project or something, to sort your brain out, you can just do voice journaling, record those ideas. And then when you play it back and listen, you're listening to it from the outside, so it gives you a little bit of a different perspective. Usually this is great for writing also, but yeah, we want to do this lazily in bed, so record it in your voice. Record your ideas in voice, or do voice to text, and then just read it out and listen to it. So this is one excellent in bed productive activity to do, the voice recording thing. Another is if you are designing stuff. Say if you're making graphics for it could be for your social media or for your business. It could be for slides for your course or whatever you're teaching. Any kind of creative thing you want to do with photography, like photo editing, and then putting that together and creating a poster. Maybe you have an event or workshop or something coming up, so creating something for that, like promotional material for that. Any kind of designing thing. There are some great apps for your phone. Like I have the GoDaddy Studio. Most popular that a lot of people use is called Canva. There are many others. So Adobe also has one. So you have these which are just there on your phone, and you just have to lie down or maybe prop yourself up a little bit, and then just happily work on those. Aram se create all these slides and carousel posts and stuff like that. So there you are not in any rush, because it's your lazy day, but you're being productive because you want to feel slightly productive. It gives you the sense of accomplishment. So aram se very very relaxedly lie in bed and do all these on the phone apps, create these posters and stuff. And again, I want to stress, whatever you're doing on the phone, make sure your notifications are off, because you don't want to be distracted. The whole idea of doing all this, me sharing all this, is for you not to go down the rabbit hole of all these, the notification of DMs or Insta or emails coming in or any of those pings. So make sure you've turned all of it off while you use your phone as a tool to do these exercises or these productive things, so that you feel good. You feel like, okay, I'm getting something done. I'm getting some work done. Another thing is writing. like actual writing. Again, yes, if you sit up in bed and do this on your laptop, it's probably going to feel easier and more flowy. But if you don't feel like sitting with the laptop and you want to do it on your phone, okay, open one of your text editing, your notes, or depending on what phone you have, open one of those and just simply start typing out. The thing about writing is there are two steps to it. The first step is to just allow the words to flow, whether it's a story or a post or a launch sequence or whatever you're writing out. Allow the words to flow and just keep writing without pausing, without going back and rereading, without editing yourself. First, let all the ideas come out onto the page, or the metaphorical page here, the digital page here. Once it's all out, the second step is to go back and gently, tweak things, keep what is great, plump it up a bit, let whatever is useless, disappear or fall off. Working on it that way. So there are two steps to it, and definitely both can be done while just being in bed, right on your phone or on your laptop. And you feel good. Writing, you don't have to be a writer. There's nothing like, oh, I am a writer. You don't have to be an author of any sort. Writing is fantastic as an activity. In fact, I have an episode about 5 writing as a spiritual practice and the 5 things you can use it for. But, that being said, it can just be the most healing, helpful thing. And again, like the journaling I mentioned earlier, it allows ideas to come out of your brain onto the page, and that makes it's more real. It's something, especially if it's something that you've been putting off writing. Do it in bed. Low pressure situation, you're all tucked in, all relaxed. Things flow in a much better way. So there I have shared 3 different categories of things that you can do while in bed. And let me mention once again that I'm in no way encouraging you to stay in bed every single day and just do all this. Absolutely not. We need to move out. We need a change in location. It depends. Sometimes you need to sit at your desk. Sometimes you need to sit at your sofa, wherever. But you need to be up and about. So I'm in no way saying, oh, be in bed every day and do this. But on the day that you feel like staying in bed all day, depending on your mood, your energy level, the way you feel, depending on all of that, I have given you 3 different categories of things to do. One is the self-care thing, which is super slow, super easy. Then another is high quality entertainment and leisure, which is a little bit stimulating. And the third is gentle, no pressure or low pressure productivity or creativity. There are plenty more things you can do, of course, but I wanted to give you a handful of these. And now I want you to ask yourself, all of this that I've shared right now, don't they all sound so much better, so much more fulfilling, satisfying, joyful, stimulating, meaningful than browsing social media, doom scrolling, just DMing with someone constantly, especially on all these groups, like WhatsApp groups and stuff, meaningless conversations, or binge watching some TV show? Don't all these sound so much better? Can't you just, feel how nice they leave you feeling at the end of that activity, end of that particular day in bed? So, the next time you want to spend a lazy day in bed, you can be proud of it. You can look forward to it. You don't have to feel any guilt at all, because you're like, yeah, I stayed in bed all day, but my day wasn't wasted. I did something meaningful, something good with my day, whether it's in a state of being or if it's in a state of doing. Either way, something happened in your day where the day wasn't wasted, and you were kind of alert, alive, aware. Yeah, aware is the word I'm looking for. Aware of what you did and where your time went. And of course, though I normally don't encourage multitasking, I usually recommend doing one activity or being in a certain practice and being fully involved in that one practice. If you do feel the need to multitask, you can combine things which combine well with each other. For example, you can't do an activity that uses your brain and then some other activity that also uses your brain. That's not going to feel good. However, say you're listening to an audiobook or a podcast. While that is playing, you can do your movement. You can do your self-soothing and happening, right? So there are some of these things which can be combined. I suggest avoiding it, but if you want to do it discerningly, combining certain activities. So yeah, there we go. I hope this gave you permission to be in bed the next time you feel like just being in bed, because wow, there is a wonder here in bed. It's not a day wasted. All right, talk to you again next week. And as always, if you like this episode, then you're going to love my newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. Go to my website, veganosaurus.com/newsletter and sign up. The link is in the show notes. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye!